This major is ideal for students who love engaging positively with people, advocating for their human rights, and have a genuine concern for others. So if this sounds like you, welcome to day 52 of my 90-day challenge, where for 90 days I am highlighting a college major, letting you know what it's about, what courses to expect in college, and what are some of the career paths you can get into with these degrees. Today we're talking about social work, so let's get started. According to the International Federation of Social Workers, or IFSW, the global definition of social work is a practice-based profession and an academic discipline that promotes social change and development, social cohesion, and the empowerment and liberation of people. So social workers help individuals, families, and communities who are going through some stressful or challenging life situations. So it could be combating unemployment, being rehabilitated back into the society from imprisonment, or working through some health challenges. Social workers are in the community, serving the community, and making sure that their human rights are upheld. It is therefore not surprising that you'll find social workers in places like rehabilitation centers, schools, hospitals, local clinics, or even correctional facilities. Most of the time, social workers actually collaborate with professionals within the community in order to help those individuals that are going through a difficult time. For example, social workers can work with local businesses or local shelters to help victims of domestic abuse get back on their feet. We will discuss some of the career paths that you can get into with a degree in social sciences in a few minutes, so stick around. In terms of incentives, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics, as of 2020, the median pay for a social worker was about $52,000 a year, which translates to $25 an hour. This is actually enough to live on depending on the state that you're living in. When it comes to job outlook, the employment growth rates of social workers is about 13%, which is much higher than the average employment growth rates of all occupations, which is about 4%. This means that the demand for social workers is actually on the rise. According to payscale.com, an entry-level position of a social worker with less than a year of experience, you can earn upwards of $42,000 a year. That is pretty good for an entry-level position. Loving what you're hearing so far? Let me know by giving this video a like, and let's look at some of the courses to expect when majoring in social work. Each school has a different format and requirement for this major, so I would suggest looking at each individual school and looking at their program and requirements in order to know what to expect when majoring in social work. However, the information that I will be giving you from this point on, it will be specific for the social work major offered at Michigan State University, or MSU. At MSU, admission into the social work major is actually in your third year or in your junior year of college. So during your first 2 years, you will be taking prerequisite courses or courses that are required for you to be admitted into the social work major in your third year. This means that this is a very competitive major for you to get into. Not only are you required to take specific courses, but you're required to have a really good GPA in order for you to even be considered for admission. So courses are just one part of the requirements, and you also need to meet certain GPA thresholds in order to be considered for this major. So again, a very competitive major. Some of the courses to expect in this major include Introduction to Cultural Anthropology, Introduction to Social Work, Human Behavior and Social Environment, Social Work Practices, Introduction to Micro and Macroeconomics, Introduction to Sociology and Psychology, and Research Methods in Social Work. Some of the courses that I just mentioned have prerequisites to them, so you have to take another course before you can take those courses. So this means that you need to talk to your academic advisor when planning out your semesters so that you don't waste time and money taking unnecessary courses. Tuition and books can be very expensive. For a full list of courses offered for this major, specifically at MSU, I will leave a link in the description for you to check out after this video. In addition to courses and meeting all the admission requirements, you may also increase your chances by participating in undergrad research, independent study, study abroad, or even internships. This will build your resume and your experience so that your application actually stands out from the crowd when you're applying for admission into the major, and also after you graduate when you're applying to jobs. To further boost your resume and employability, getting a master's or some field experience is highly encouraged once you graduate with a degree in social work. Still with me? Let me know by recording this timestamp in the comment section, and let's look at some of the career paths you can get into with a degree in social work. As I had previously mentioned, this major is ideal for students who love working with people and working in their communities, so most of the job opportunities and job positions out there will involve working directly with individuals in your community. community. So you could work as an advocacy aide, a case management aide or case manager, a community outreach worker, a human services specialist, a juvenile court liaison, probation worker, rehabilitation case worker, a licensed clinical social worker, a behavior analyst, or a social work supervisor. You could also further your studies in grad school and work your way to becoming a psychologist or an academic professor. Do you know any social work students or graduates? How about sharing this video with them to show them that you know something about their major? Also, if you want to learn more about college majors, careers, and undergrad research tips, consider subscribing, especially if you're a Michigan State University student, because I use MSU resources as examples in most of my videos. Watch this video next, and I will see you all tomorrow as we discuss child development. Jacqify out.
I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our clouds when people change.